Welcome back, everybody. So it's Friday today. The weekend is here, and the weekend is when people usually go out and mingle and meet people and kiss and bring each other home and bring each other in your bed and exchange bodily fluids, among other things. So I wanted to come on with this video today about the sex-driven society we live in and spiritual STDs. In this last year or so, I really learned and experienced how sex is a huge driving force, a strong driving force for a lot of people's daily experience, and how people base their interactions and their connections, or a lack thereof, with other people based on if you can either get sex or develop some sort of romantic relationship with them at the end. So let me give you an example. So you can meet somebody and it could be a platonic thing for a while. There's no mention of anything sexual or anything romantic. It's strictly platonic, like a friendship is forming. You guys are having a good conversation, you're talking, almost every day, and suddenly one party shows some interest that may not be fully reciprocated, or the other person just isn't ready for anything that entails more than a friendship. And suddenly the person just disappears. The person you was talking to that just expressed interest in you just disappeared because you didn't show the same interest back. But before that, everything was cool. Oh, you have good energy, everything's good, we vibing, you have good conversation. But as soon as you eliminated the possibility of it being more than that, disappearance. Never hear from them again. When everything was just cool. But now, because there isn't a potential for more than friendship, the person vanishes. Or say if it's somebody that you have been hooking up with, like a friends with benefits type of situation, and sometimes it's time to move on, sometimes the person just wants to do something different. The ship sailed, pretty much, and there's nothing wrong with that. Or they just may not feel energetically interested or sexually interested as they once were. Maybe not even to you as an individual, but just in general, they're trying to fill their time with different things. As soon as you take penis out the equation, disappearance. But meanwhile, a few months ago, all these plans were being made, and we're gonna do this and this and that. But as soon as you take penis out of the equation, everything changes. That one thing, the power of the penis, the power of the penis. And this goes for ladies too, the power of the vagina, shit. This goes both ways. It looks like these days it's to the point where it's rare to find somebody that just appreciates you for your existence, for your conversation, for the energy transfer, for just, going outside and sitting under a tree for like an hour or two and just talking about everything and nothing at the same time. It's so rare to find somebody these days that doesn't want anything out of you, that doesn't want anything from you. And it's really unfortunate because I feel like when you make sex or trying to be with someone in the long term the end goal, you lose out on a lot of people that you could have potentially had a strong connection with, even though it may not have been a romantic one or sexual one. You miss out on a lot of opportunities of people that you could have had a good friendship with or a good platonic situation with. But because you saw that that wasn't going to be the end result, you decided to ghost. So just two souls, two individuals existing doesn't seem to be enough anymore for a lot of people. It doesn't seem to be enough to just be able to talk to somebody, to just go out and have a good time without it leading to anything more. But at the same time, it makes sense as to why so many people are driven by sex, because we live in a society that puts sex into everything we consume every single day. Music, movies, commercials, TV. Ever since we were kids, like I've been listening to some music that I grew up listening to from like the mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, and I was really 7, 8 years old singing about sex and relationships, and I had no idea because they gloss it over with a nice cute beat. It sounds like a fun pop song about having a crush, when they're really talking about and I listened to some of the lyrics as an adult, and I was like, I really was thinking about, getting freaky with somebody or getting somebody into bed, and I had no idea until it hits you later on in life. You're like, oh shit, like the programming is real. It's everywhere. So it's part of people's subconscious at this point, and it's what becomes a driving force for a lot of people. And for some people, it becomes too much of a driving force to where that's where they get their energy from sexually. And I'm not perfect. I definitely had my days where I was just jumping from body to body to body and looking for the next hookup, or just living off of that feeling of being able to physically connect with somebody. But looking back, I was looking for something way more. I was looking for something deeper. And a lot of the times in my physical connections with random people, afterwards, I would usually ask myself, did I really need to do that? Was that really necessary? Did I really spend all that time participating in that? And was it worth it? And honestly, most of the time, the answer was no. And it just leaves you with that feeling of emptiness afterwards, because you're chasing the wrong thing. You think that's what you're chasing. You think you're chasing a body, but it could be intimacy. It could just be a connection. I always found it hard to find people to connect with, like on a soul level. So my way of doing it was, or what I thought would help, would be physical contact. Okay. But intuitively, I knew that this wasn't the way, especially when you have to use substances, any kind of substance, to hook up with somebody or meet somebody new and, get them into bed before you even know, like, their name. All right, well, let's not get too crazy. Well, actually, no. Their name. I'll keep it at that. Their name. But afterwards, you just know when something's not for you. But it may take a minute to realize that, and to finally accept that this is not how you should be moving. And not only that, but I feel like with myself personally, sex for me was a slight confidence boost. It did something for my ego 100%, especially when I was depressed or feeling really insecure. Sex was something that I felt I could bring to the table when I didn't think I had anything else to bring to the table, or anything to add to this human experience. When I was really focused on the physical aspect of myself, I felt that was a strength. I felt like that was what I could do with ease. I didn't have to try too hard. It's something that came natural to me to connect sexually with other people and have them enjoy it. And I would get feedback on that, which just fed my ego even more and pretty much made me feel like that was my identity. When you get the feedback from other people, it kind of becomes, you become that. You become the feedback that you receive, and you create your identity around that. So I created my identity around hooking up and sex and, the body count. So whatever you feel like is your strength, for example, if you feel like you're somebody that's well endowed, or you have a good body, or you're attracted to a lot of people, that's what you're probably going to bring to the table most of the times. In most situations, you're going to use your attraction. You're going to use how people view you. You're going to use that as an asset in a lot of situations. Even if it's not a sexual situation, you're going to use your appearance as a way to get things out of people or certain situations. Just the same way, if you think you're book smart, you're going to probably be someone who likes to debate people all the time, or let people know how intelligent you are or what school you graduated from, because that's what you value about yourself the most. So that's what you're going to bring to the table most of the time. But at the same time, you probably don't even know how to have a deep conversation with somebody or connect with someone on a deeper level, because you're just so used to like the book smart thing. Same thing with physical attraction. You might feel like you're physically attractive, but you can't even have a conversation with somebody because you rely on your attraction so much that you might feel like you don't even have to say anything, which I've experienced as well. Like, yeah, you look good, but if you can't ask me a question or have a conversation other than, reality TV, keep it pushing. I mean, I'll be nice to you, but it's probably not gonna work. If you're somebody who might be aggressive. You know, if you have a lot of strength, or you're an aggressive person, or you have a dominating personality, that's probably what you're going to bring to the table in every situation. You know, confrontation. If you're, whether it's with family or with someone else, you're going to bring that aggressiveness to the table because that's what you feel your strength is. Especially if people react to it, you see that people are scared or intimidated, you feed off that, and that's what you're going to bring to the table too. So what you think about yourself and what you value most about yourself is what you're always going to bring to the table in every situation. So if sex is something that you feel like you always need to bring to the table and you're always hunting for, you're always looking for, you got to take a step back and be like, okay, why am I so driven by sex? You know, is it just something that I enjoy? Is it something I like to do often, or is there a deeper reason behind it? You got to dig a little deeper though. That's the thing. People don't want to dig deep. People don't want to dig deep. You got to dig deep. And I ain't talking about. I mean, you got to dig deeper within yourself. Okay, Virgo ass. Virgos are nasty. Let me tell you. We might seem, well put together and polite and appropriate. No, get to know a Virgo. Whew. What you see in the street on camera is not what you get, but in a good way though. It's like in a surprising way. But anyway, back to the subject. And apart from sex being a huge driving force for a lot of people, when you have sex with somebody, that's also an energetic transfer. You're going to be picking up things that person walks with energetically, their frequency, whether good or bad. You're having sex with all of somebody, not just the physical. You're going to be picking up stuff that they have within themselves too, and they're going to be picking up stuff from you. You're going to pick up the good and the bad. Like, there have been times where I've hooked up with somebody and afterwards I feel super melancholy or angry or just energetically depleted when I was feeling great beforehand. So obviously there's an energy transfer happening, and I'm picking up stuff from the person that I'm in bed with. And you could pick up the good too. There's been times where I've hooked up with people and they'll text me. First of all, they'll be like, "Oh, when can I see you again?" That "when can I see you again"? Come on. You just left. Talking about when can I see you again? I mean, I get it, like excitement and you connect with people, but at least give me a day. Like, when can I see you again? Yo, that's one of my war. I hate that question, especially someone that likes to spend time alone. And I need my space. That when can I see you again? Whew. Going back to what I was saying. So you could pick up the bad, but you could also pick up the good from people. Like, I've had people text me, not only say, when can I see you again, but it's talking about, "Oh, I'm having such a good day today, and people are saying that my skin is glowing, I'm in such a good mood, thank you." And I was like, well, damn, can you go play the lotto or something? Like, can you go win a meal for us if you're feeling that good and, high vibrational? I mean, I know I work hard on my energy. My energy is not good all the time, but I put in work to my energy. So if that's the energy that you received from our session, that's great. But shit, I don't remember the last time I felt that from somebody, unless it's somebody that you have a very powerful energetic connection with, even apart from sex. That's different. Once you experience a connection with somebody during sex, that's more than just physical, that's like spiritual, and you could just feel it from head to toe. It's hard to do random hookups. That's what it is. It's hard to go from somebody that you connect with on all levels to just trying to physically connect with somebody just to bust a nut. It's like night and day. It's night and day. There's no comparison. That's it. There's no comparison. Once you experience that, you become more cautious of who you share yourself with. Like, not only are you going to ask about STD tests, which, you all should be asking people that you're going to bring into bed, when was your last STD test? How often do you get tested? Like, I've asked people, and some people have been like, "Oh, I don't know when my last..." You don't know when your last STD test was? Come on. You don't even have an estimate? How you not know when your last STD test was? But you about to jump into bed with me? Come on, people. Come on. The least you can do if you're going to be sharing yourself with people constantly is, make sure you get tested and make sure that everything's working right, everything's good, that you're ready to do what you're trying to do all the time. At the least you can do. Get tested. It's important. And ask everybody if they've been tested recently, because that shit is important too. Don't just say, "Oh, I'm here, I'm ready." Like, no. Take care of yourself. You gotta take care of yourself, especially in these streets. And sex can be a great thing when it's with the right people, but just take care of yourself. If you are sharing yourself physically with a lot of people, at least try to do like some sort of cleansing work or something after, just so you can energetically disconnect or remove anything that you might have picked up from people, and just take it from there. Just be good to yourself and be safe. Take a step back and try to think about the way you move in this world, and your behavior, your actions, the things you think about daily, what you're focusing on constantly. So on that note, that's all I got today. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and I hope you ask the questions you gotta ask if you're meeting new people. They say, "I don't know," then save the day for later. But I do want to end this video to say that if you are in any type of sexual situation with another person, that if they say stop, if they say no, listen. Like, if you hear those two words, or if the body language is telling you that the person is not enjoying it, you can tell that the person may not be into it, or the person doesn't want to proceed. Do anything in your power to stop, especially if the other person is under the influence of something, or whatever the case may be, and they are. If they don't want to proceed, you need to stop. There's no. That's it. Control yourself. Control yourself when you hear those words, because it's not going to end well for either of you. Make sure you know how to read body language, because some people, they may not want to do something. Their body may be reacting, but you need to learn how to read body language. You need to be intuitive as well. It doesn't matter if you're spiritual or not. You need to learn how to read energy, learn how to read people's facial expressions, how to read people's body. You want to be with bodies, right? So you got to learn how to read bodies, and not only when it's good, but when the person may not necessarily want it either. All right, so I'm leaving y'all with that. Peace.